Hello children, welcome to the revision session of Class 10 Political Science, Chapter 2 Federalism. This revision session I have divided into two parts. Children, if you remember, in the explanation video, we have discussed this chapter in detail with a lot of informations and the pictures pertaining to the topic. So now we will have a quick recap or a quick revision of the same chapter to refresh the topic from the point of view of your exam. Now in this part of the revision session, we will once again go through the topics like meaning of federalism, the difference between the unitary system and the federal system, the key features of federalism, the types of federalism, the difference between the two types of federalism, and at the end of this part, we will see what makes India a federal country. So first children, let us see what is meant by federalism. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between a central authority and the various constituent units of the country. The federation basically can be of two or sometimes more than two levels or two tiers of government. Clear children? Now one is the government for the entire country. Clear? Entire country, and it is responsible for the few subjects of common national interest. Clear children? Whereas the second level of the government, it includes the levels of government at the provinces or states. Clear? That look after much of the day-to-day administering of the state. That is, the day-to-day basic needs of the state is taken care by this various constitutional units. Clear children? Now both these levels of the government, they enjoy their power independently from each other. Clear? Now the worldwide there are 25 countries, right, with 40% of the world population having federal form of the government. Now children, you can see here all these green ones, right, the map which is shaded with the green ones, they are all the federal states. Clear children? Federal states having either two or more than two tiers of the governments, whereas here you can see all the blue ones, they are all the unitary states of the country. Now we will see what is the difference between the unitary states and the federal states. Children, remember, federalism has two systems of government. That is the unitary system and the federal system. Clear children? Now here in federal system you can see the central government and the state governments, they are independent from each other. Whereas in the unitary system you can see the central government having power over the state governments. Clear children? Further we will see about these differences in detail. In a unitary system, there is only one level of government. Now what do you understand by this? It means that there is only the central government which has a sole power, or we can say the central government is a supreme power, right? Now the central government may create administrative units, and such units exercise only the powers that the central government has authorized them to. Whereas in the federal system, there are more than one level of government. Now that can be the central or the union government, it can be the state governments or some local governments. Clear, children? Now the central government in the unitary system can order the local governments. But on the other hand, the central government in the federal system does not order the local governments. Clear, children? Now, in the unitary system, there is no power for the local governments. Clear? That means the local governments are authorized to do only those jobs that are chosen by the central government. Whereas in the federal system, the state governments have their own powers. Clear, children? Now, the local governments in the unitary system are answerable to the central government. Clear? Whereas in the federal system, both the central government as well as the state governments are answerable to the people. Not to each other, but to the people of the country. Is it clear, children? Now let us see the key features of federalism. What are the key features of federalism? Children, the first one is there are two or more levels or the tiers of the government. When I say two or more levels of the government, it means the central government, the state government and the local governments. And we shall learn about them in detail as we proceed in the chapter. The next key feature is the different tiers of the government. They govern the same citizens, but each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters like legislation, taxation and administration. Children, jurisdiction means area, right? Area where they can exercise their power. Clear, children? Now, for example, if I live in Mumbai, then firstly I fall under the jurisdiction of the central government because Mumbai is a part of India. Then the state government, because again Mumbai is a part of Maharashtra state. Now the jurisdiction of the different levels are specified in the constitution. Now constitution, children, we all know it is the rule book of the country, right? Rule book of the country. Yes. Now children, just tell me, can we bring any changes in the specification of the constitution? And the answer for this is the fundamental provisions of the constitution cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of the government. It means it requires the consent of both the levels of the government. Children, unilaterally means one person, group or a country involved in a particular situation without the agreement of the others cannot change, right? Cannot change, cannot, or we can say cannot bring any changes in the constitution. Clear, children? Now, on the other hand, if we see, every country has the highest court, right? The highest court which acts as an umpire if disputes arises between the different levels of the government, right? For example, we can take that if there is a dispute between the state government and the central government, then the matter goes to the highest court of the country, that is the Supreme Court. Clear, children? To solve the matter. Similarly, if there is a dispute or a conflict between the two states, for example, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh has some conflict, or we can take Maharashtra or Karnataka has some disputes, then these matters also goes to the Supreme Court to solve the matter. So, what does the highest court do? It becomes an umpire for resolving these disputes. Right, children? Now, in India, we have Supreme Court as the highest court of the country. In this way, the Constitution ensures its financial autonomy to all the levels of the government. The financial autonomy means financial independence, and it is ensured in the Constitution. The advantage of the federal system is that it safeguards and promotes the unity of a country, and it also accommodates the regional diversity. Like in India, there is diversity in terms of religion, language, food, and so on. Now, there are two routes or two types of federalism. They are the coming together federation and the holding together federation. Now, what do you understand by the term coming together? It means the states come together on their own to form a bigger state. Like it happened in United States of America. Initially, children, it was 13 colonies, but today it is around 50 colonies or the 50 states. And these states have come together to form a bigger unit. Now, let us see the benefit of coming together federation. First of all, children, they retain their identity and sovereignty, which means that the state of USA have retained their identity and sovereignty as well. In contrast to that, in the country like India, the different states have different powers but not the sovereignty. In India, the country has a sovereignty and not the state. It means that the other countries cannot interfere in the political matters of India. The second benefit is all the states have equal powers with respect to the federal government. Now, the countries that come under the coming together federations are the United States of America with 50 states, Switzerland with 26 states, and Australia with 6 states. So, children, all these countries, they come under coming together federation. The second route or the type of federalism is holding together federation, and in this the country like India falls. Now, in this system, the large country divides its power between the constituent states and the national government, that is the central government. Here, the central government tends to be more powerful than the state governments. Not only that, but the different constituent units of the federation have unequal powers. Like in India, India is made up of the states and union territories. There are different states and different union territories having unequal powers. So children, the countries which fall under the holding together federation are India, Spain and Belgium. Is it clear, children? So these are the classic examples of the holding together federation. Now whatever we have studied about the coming together and the holding together federation, we can revise the same again in a tabular form. Like children, here you can see that in the coming together federation, it involves the independent states coming together on their own to form a bigger unit, so that by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity, they can increase their security. Whereas in the holding together federation, a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. Secondly, children, in the coming together federation, all the constituent states usually have equal power and are strong. Whereas in the holding together federation, the central government tends to be more powerful, right, than the states. The different constituent units of the federation have unequal power, right? Where in some units are given special powers and some less powers, right? So we have seen the example of India, wherein we have different states and union territories enjoying different powers, or we can say having unequal powers, right, children? Okay, now the example of the coming together federation we have seen is USA, Switzerland and Australia. And in holding together federation, which countries they come under holding together? It is India, Spain and Belgium. Now the question is, what makes India a federal country? And the answer for this is, after independence, the Constitution declared India as a union of states. Indian Union is based on the principles of federalism. Similarly, the Constitution provides for a three-tier system of government. That is, we have union government, state government and the local government. And the best part for these governments is they enjoy separate jurisdiction as mentioned in the Constitution. Now children, to be more confirmed with these features, whether they are really implemented in the Indian government, we shall just check by comparing the features of federalism with the Indian government. Now, the first feature of federalism is there are two or more levels of government. And we can see in Indian government, there are three levels of government, and that is union, state and local. Yes. Secondly, the second feature of federalism is jurisdiction of each level of the government is classified by the Constitution. We can see that in the Indian government, as jurisdiction of each level of the government is specified in the Constitution, and it is in terms of three lists. Children, we will study about these lists in detail in our next part of the revision section. Now, the third feature of federalism is the changes in the constitutional rules and the rights need the consent of each level of the government. And it is very much there in the Indian government, as per the Indian government in the Constitution in India, there is a need of 2/3 votes in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and more than half of the states must pass the bill to change the basic laws. Children, if you remember, when we were understanding this particular chapter, when the explanation videos, we have seen this particular feature with the help of an example of GST. GST, how it was passed from a bill in the parliament to a law which can be imposed in the country. Right, children? Okay, now the next point or the next feature of federalism is courts have the power to interpret the constitution and to solve the conflict between the political parties. Now, accordingly, in India also, if any dispute takes place between the state and the central government or between any two states, then Supreme Court makes the decision, as Supreme Court is the highest court in India. Clear, children? Now, whatever we have done in this part, we will refresh the content with the help of a quiz. Okay, children? So, it's a quiz time, a question answer round. So, first we will say, which of the following countries is an example of holding together federation? Is it USA, Australia, Switzerland, or Spain? Which country falls under the holding together federation, children? It is Spain. Yes. Now the second question is, the distinguishing feature of a federal government is, what is it? Is it a national government gives some powers to the provisional governments, or the power is distributed among the legislature, executive and the judiciary, or the elected officials exercise supreme power in the government, or is it the government power is divided between different levels of the government? So what is your answer, children? It is the government power is divided between different levels of the government. Children, we have seen just now, we have gone through all those things, that is the union government, the state government and the local government. Yes. Now the third question is, Belgium shifted to a federal form of government in which year? Is it in the year 1992, 1990, 1993 or 1950? So what is your answer? It is 1993. Yes. Now the next one is, there is a fundamental amendment to be made in the constitution. Which level of the government needs to give this consent of whatever changes or whatever amendment has to take place? Is it the states concerned need to give their consent, or the union government needs to give its consent, or both the levels of the government need to give their consent? So what is the answer here? It is both the levels of the government needs to give their consent. We have seen with an example of India, that is 2/3 of vote has to be given by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Yes? Okay. Now the next is, how are disputes between the different levels of the government resolved? Is it resolved with the help of the highest court, which resolves the disputes between the different levels of the government, or they have to discuss these issues and come together to common consents, or is it the union government resolves the disputes as it holds power at the center? So what is your answer, children? It is the highest court resolves the disputes between the different levels of government. We have seen with an example of Supreme Court, right, children? Okay, yes. So children, with this we come to end of the first part of the revision session of chapter 2, federalism. Now in the next part we will try to understand about the 3 lists and more functions in federalism.